All right, y'all, I'm going to do my Lake Wedowee fishing report for the week. Today's Monday, March the 3rd. We've had a crazy past few months. We've went from freezing for a week at a time, snow and ice. The lake was frozen over. We got warm weather for like a week, and then next thing you know, it dropped back off the other week and got cold and had a bunch of rain. The lake has been super muddy for about 2 weeks now. So my report for this week is bass and crappie, obviously. So I'll start off with the crappie side of things, and you can see I got one rod right here. So I'm gonna start off with the water temp. Like early in the morning, like I left the boat in overnight, and when I put the thermometer down, it said 49 degrees. But then as you get off into the day, 10, 11 o'clock, it gets up to about 52, 53. Later in the afternoon, I saw 54, 55. Depending on what area of the lake you're in, it's a little warmer, a little cooler. But for the most part, I'd say the average water temp on Wedowee right now is between that 51 to 53 degrees is a pretty safe number. Still got a lot of stain on the water. Around 48 is, I would honestly call it muddy still. And then once you get way up the big river, it cleans up a little bit and has like a nice color to it. And then even down the lake a little ways and up the little river, really far up the little river, it's still very muddy. Some of the little creek arms and pockets that are protected are cleaning up. But for the most part, we've still got some stain and mud across most of the lake and low 50s in the water. And caught a lot of fish on Sunday. We were actually I was doing a live scope trip, so we probably caught close to 15 or 20. We didn't spend a ton of time actually fishing, but we saw a lot of fish, saw a good amount of bait, and the key lure for us when we were actually doing some fishing and not just sitting at the graphs was just a little 1/16 ounce crappie jig, had a little chartreuse and white bait. We tried it all white. I used the black and yellow. I didn't use a pink one, but just all kind of different colors, and you can actually get by with it right now because of how stained the water is. But just that little split shot rig about a foot above the line, and then like I said, that little crappie jig, 1/16 ounce. I mean, we saw some fish in 4 or 5 footer water, saw some fish under boat docks. That we actually saw a lot of big groups under boat docks. The only problem is a lot of them were so far back we couldn't even get a bait to them. A ton of fish suspended. I've seen a lot of guys trolling. Saw guys trolling and like reeling them in left and right, it seems. So guys out there with a spider rig are seeming to have a lot of luck right now, but there's just so many fish that are suspended high in the water, just out there floating around. Like when you scope around and see that blob out there, it ain't a leaf floating. It's a dang slab of crappie out there in 4 foot of water, and they're just everywhere, it seemed like. So they're kind of in that in-between. Some of them are already pulled up on their spots they'll stage on, but a lot of these fish just roam around in the middle of the river channel and the creek channels and in the mouth of these pockets. They'll just be out there floating, and you can catch them either trolling or scoping them. And then as far as bass fishing goes, hold on before I get too far ahead of myself. So this right here, I got it a couple weeks ago over at Mckenzie's Bait and Tackle. That's that THUMP GEL. I think they started it up there on Guntersville and Weiss Lake. So THUMP GEL, I've been using it bass and crappie fishing, and I can tell you, I think it makes a difference. It's one of those things, I think it's a confidence thing, because we got 3rd place in a tournament a few weeks back, and I put THUMP GEL on my bait. My brother wasn't using it, and I caught 2 3-pounders at the end of the day that we both threw at. So kind of a confidence thing. It leaves like a little slime, a little film on your bait, but the main thing is just it has that scent. So it doesn't really alter the color as much like the regular chartreuse dye, but it gives it that good garlic scent, and I've really liked using it. So bass and crappie, put that on there, and it's a little something different that these fish haven't seen. But as far as bass fishing goes, my brother bass fished this weekend. He actually fished a little fundraiser tournament Saturday. They weighed in like 11.5 pounds. Just never had that big bite. But the bass weights are really good. I mean, 19 pounds won. I think somebody had 16 or 17. One of our buddies, he come in 3rd or 4th. They had right at 15 pounds. They just had the Wedowee Marine South Winter Trail Classic yesterday. Paid out $4,000 for 1st place. I don't know what won it yet, but awesome tournament trail if you're looking to fish on local Wedowee. But like I said, the weights are really ramping up right now. We kind of were in that 13 to 16 pound range to win, and then we had that warm weather. Somebody dropped a 30-pound bag almost, and then like I said, it's got kind of tough, and then now we're back up to, if you don't have 17, 18 pounds, you're probably not going to have a chance to win for the next couple months. But they caught a lot of fish on moving baits, whether it was a rattle trap, spinner bait, chatterbait, squarebill crankbaits, like a shallow running DT6, or just different baits like that to cover water, because there's still some fish out deep. But as muddy as the lake has been here recently, a lot of these fish are pulled up around cover. They're on the points, they're on maybe boat docks, timber, all kind of different things. Now's a great time to be out here fishing. The next month is about to be wide open, and I've actually got a guide trip opening, a 4-hour trip this Saturday, March the 8th. So if you're interested in a guide trip, I have a 4-hour window open, so you can shoot me a message, send me an email, anything like that. Like I said, Wedowee is about to get right down there at Wedowee. I think we're about to have some stable, warm weather. The bass and the crappie, they're getting ready to pull up. Crappie's already got eggs in them. Bass, we're starting to notice them. They're getting real fat. So it's about to be the time of the year where you want to be on the lake. So make sure you get out there, swing by Mckenzie's Bait and Tackle, and get all the equipment you need, and hit the lake and go catch some.